All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. As always, peace and salutations to the elect. This is the brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch coming back at you with another lesson. All right, I have an article right here from naturalnews.com. All right, and a couple of videos that I want to go into. But as you can see from the title of this article, it says Hyperscale data centers, big tech's war against humanity. You know, and these are just more things that we here at Great Millstone, all right, being watchmen of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, set up starting with the apostles, bishops, and elders on down to ultimately warn you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, all right, of the impending danger that's approaching. All right. The sword, as the scriptures say in the book of Ezekiel 33, about the watchman. You see, our job as watchmen, all right, is ultimately warn you that the enemy is getting ready to come down. All right. When there is danger coming, all right, when there is attacking about to happen, we blow the trumpet. All right. And the trumpet is being blown. All right, as it says in the book of Isaiah, uh, lift up thy voice as a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. All right. So on the highways and byways, you see brothers every weekend and week out. All right. Our particular classes that we have uh, throughout the four corners of the earth, whatever, these brothers, their camps, whatever various days, brothers have classes, our sit downs, including this one, is just another blowing of the trumpet to warn you, so called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, all right, that the enemy is ultimately besieging you on all sides, all right. And you have a lot of Israelite groups who are not even talking about this, man, because this is like we're reading. You see, like I said, this is a war against humanity. You see, all right, and it's being orchestrated by the devil, being spearheaded by Esau, Edom, all right, the Edomites, all right, but also these other nations are falling right in line, okay. And with knowing this and knowing the danger of these things, that these AI infrastructures that we seeing being erected, all right, you so-called these so-called prophets should be constantly warning you about these things, you know. And that's why we here at Great Millstone stick to prophecy. All right. And this is what I'm talking about, these AI data centers. These are all according to prophecies, man, because ultimately it links up to that beast system, okay, which is ultimately going to tie right along into the mark of the beast. All right. So, not to, ramble along, but let's get into this article. And like I said, I have a couple of videos that I want to go through. I'm going to skim through them. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really set in stone. I ain't, really writing anything down, just going in the spirit. But Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to you, brothers and sisters. All right. So it says, the silent thief of the world. It says, I've been warning about this for years. In December 2023, I reported on a meta data center project in Rosemont, Minnesota, that was gobbling up 280 acres of farmland while residents protested. All right, and to get a comparison of how big, what I'm saying, or how large that is, um, 280 acres. You know what I'm saying? Let's look it up. All right, as you can see, it says 12,196,800 square feet. All right, which is ultimately comparison. All right, it's compared to as you can see, AI overview, 280 acres. Okay, is it says 280 acres is a measurement expanse of land measuring roughly 12.2 million square feet. This is visually equivalent to approximately 212 football fields or about 260 standard city blocks. Okay, so that's a large amount of land. You know what I'm saying? Very large. Okay, so let's go back. All right, as it says, I reported on the Meta Data Center project in Rosemont, Minnesota, that was gobbling up 280 acres of farmland while residents protested. Right, these are lands, these are farmlands. Lands that can be used for people to produce food. You know what I'm saying? To help uh, 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 you know, so-called, this country, but we're dealing with the wicked. All right, we're dealing with Esau, Edom. And he's not going to use, as the scriptures say, real quick. I know I'm, everywhere with it, but let's go to this real quick. Let's see. No, it's in a GNT. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 23 in the GNT. It says, unused fields could yield plenty of food for the poor, but unjust people keep them from being formed. Right. You see? And that's exactly what we see taking place. Or that's exactly what's been happening over the years. You know what I'm saying? You had, Bill Gates, Elon Musk buying up these particular lands, farmlands, all right, lands that can be used to ultimately, feed the poor, all right, to feed the people, you know, because homelessness and all that is running rampant, all right, over here in America. And America is supposed to be the most wealthiest country, all right, on the planet, man. You see, but yet and still you have homelessness at an all-time high. You see, but that lets you know, as the scriptures say, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. These lands that we see, all right, could be used to yield food for the poor, all right, to feed the people. But Esau is using them, all right, to build these and erect these data centers. Okay, and it's been happening, and it makes a perfect sense. All right, why years ago, we was hearing about Bill Gates, like I said, Elon Musk buying up particular lands, farmlands, because they're erecting these data centers. Okay, but let's keep going. It says now that trickle has become a flood. It says across the country, hyperscale data centers are stealing the very foundation of human survival: farmland, water, and electricity. They are not being built for progress. They are being built for profit and control. And communities are waking up to the disaster, right? You see, now people want to wake up, and our apostles and bishops and elders, all right, and brothers have been warning, all right, you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, what this devil was doing the whole time. But yet and still, you wouldn't believe us. So, as that saying in the world go, experience is the best teacher. So you're gonna learn by experience what we've been saying, that this man is the devil. Okay. It says, consider the water crisis. These centers consume billions of gallons of water for cooling, drawn from local aquifers and reservoirs that are already strained. It says this is the silent thief of our future. Meanwhile, electricity demands from AI servers is so massive that President Trump has declared that tech giants must fund their own new power plants. The energy consumption of a single hyperscale facility rivals that of a small city. All right, it states in a previous broadcast, AI research and hosting requires an enormous amount of energy, and tech companies are already partnering with nuclear plants to channel entire outputs into those centers. It says this is not a sustainable path. It is a plunder on public resources for private gain, right? Heaping unto himself everything. Okay, because like it said up in this article, this is this these things, all right, that this devil is promoting: AI, technology, humanity, these robots. And wait, it was one point in time that shit was cute to you niggas, man. Seeing a little robot, Uber robot deliver food, seeing the robots dance and do particular things. But now the same technology is taking your job. The same technology is now taking your water. You see, the same technology now is taking the land to where you can no longer grow food. You know, so it's real and real soon. It's really not gonna be funny, man. Especially towards the summer, the end of 2026, it's gonna be a different world for you people, man. You know, you think 2020 and the C19 was something. Wait till the Lord, brings what He's doing. What He got planned for this place, man. It's gonna shake up the world. It's gonna shake you people out of your comfort zone. You know, it says, like I said, this is not a sustainable path. This is a plunder on public resources for private gain. The non-catastrophic impacts of data centers. It says the damage. is not theological, let me list the catastrophic impacts that are already destroying communities. First, thermal pollution. Right, these same, and these are the same people who are building these data centers. Okay, these are the same people who's telling you, uh, we have to change something in the earth. It's global warming. There's too many emissions, CO2 emissions. But these same data centers, when you look it up, all right, are polluting, you know what I'm saying, the air 24 hours a day. You see, because these data centers are constantly running. You see, which we're going to get into. All right. It says thermal pollution. Data centers dump immense heat into the environment, raising nighttime temperatures and disrupting local ecosystems. Right. You see? Second, the water crisis. Billions of gallons are stolen from communities, as documented in my report on the backlash. Third, massive energy consumption is driving up costs for everyone and forcing reliance on fossil fuels. Texas has approved the national largest air pollution permit for a 7.65 gigawatt natural gas and data center complex, a verdict of death for air quality, right? You see, and for the last couple of fucking weeks, it's like my fucking throat, you know what I'm saying? Fucking all the fume and shit, harking up shit, you know, because of fucking these data centers, and you know what I'm saying, are ultimately polluting the fucking air. You driving down the freeway, that's all you see is the fucking orange warning on the damn signs. Monitor your outtime, your outside activity. Don't spend too much time outside because of it's polluting the air, and why it's polluting the air. You have these leaders of these, at the the World Economic Forum talking about, uh we need to make air, we need to start charging people for air to breathe. You see, this is the world, that ultimately that this devil is about to uh ultimately bring forth. So why aren't you other Israelite camps warning about this? You know, why aren't you warning that Esau, what he's trying to do with these data centers, with this technology? All right, why aren't you warning about the water crisis? Why aren't you warning about the famine that's about to take place? You see, that lets you know who a true prophet is, man. Just read the scriptures, man. When it comes to the prophets, what does the scripture say? The prophets are ultimately, when you read it, they prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms, of wars, of evils, and of pestilence, man. You see, they never was for these other nations. You know what I'm saying? Ruling. You know, they would speak against these nations. You see, but you don't have these other Israelite camps speaking against this place, man. They're going with it. They're talking about land grabs. You know, they're not thinking about the kingdom of heaven and righteousness being established on the earth, man. They're not talking about this. This is a part. This is about the effect. This is affecting your life right now, man. You see, and across the country, more of these data centers are being erected. You know, let's keep going, man. It says fourth. It says fourth, air quality degradation, noise pollution, and wildlife devastation creates a pre how do you say that, of death, perimeter of death around every large scale data center. Right, everything around these fucking data centers are dying. No animals, bitch is dry. It's sucking up all the water. It's elevating the heat, the temperature around that area. All right. Fifth, land use displaces ranching and farming with no oversight. The PJM interconnection has warned of a grid collapse as AI servers and retiring coal plants collide, with servers now consuming twice as much power as older models. These impact as others are not accidental. They are byproducts of an industry that places profit above people, and they are happening in plain sight. You see, and this is the devil that we're dealing with. Okay, because as the scriptures say, let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. All right, because this is what Esau looks as. He looks at life as a game, man. All right. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 12. It says, he thinks of human life as just a game, a market where he can make a profit. He believes that he must make money however he can, even by evil ways. You see, this is the devil. All right, here it is. We read all these non-catastrophic impact that these data centers are having, and all of them, and these are the same. That this show you Esau's a fucking hypocrite, man. Pardon my French. Shows you Esau is a hypocrite because uh on the other hand, he's gonna turn around and tell you global warming. We got to get rid of the cows. You know, too many people on the earth, but your data centers and what you know, your data centers, your chemtrails, your poison of the water and the land. That's not the problem. Everybody else is the problem except you. The hunter virus, rats are the problem, but you ain't. This man is the devil. You see? So let's grab a couple of these videos, man. Like I said, I don't want to make it, too long, but um let's get it. All right. So this is from Business Insiders, all right, and it says exposing the dark side of America's AI data center explosion. All right, like I said, I'm gonna play a little bit and I'm gonna jump through it. All right, and I have another video queued up as well. All right, so let's get straight into it.
Giant warehouses are popping up across the US, more than 2 every week. They feed AI algorithms, store photos, and answer our questions.
Hey Google.
A data center campus like this can consume as much power and water as an entire city. And many of the biggest server farms are emerging from the desert. But there's no official record of how many of these are being built, where they are, or even who owns them.
To be honest, I've never really run into so much resistance for records than this project.
Big tech companies often go to great lengths to hide the details. So we decided to build a map.
What we designed is a system to see not only the individual location of each data center across the country, but also where they cluster.
And for some, these clusters are appearing too close to home. We went to meet people who say having data centers next door is affecting their health.
I had a hard time breathing, I couldn't sleep. I thought I was losing my mind.
Summertime is more of a during the winter it's like almost like an engine trying to start.
So how many data centers are there in the US? And is there enough power and water to satisfy a building?
Right, you see the effects that these data centers are having on people. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna come back to the video, but I had shared this a while ago on my page, so I'm gonna read it. Okay, this is Sovereignty AI, all right, which is a page on Instagram. It says residents near AI data centers report dizziness, nausea, vertigo, and sleep disruption from sound they can't hear. The cause is infrasound. All right, it says residents living within a half a mile of the new AI data centers are reporting dizziness, nausea, vertigo, and sleep disruption. As though you see those two people, all right, in that neighborhood we're explaining, which I'm gonna go back to. Okay, it says this sound is the cause is sound, but not sound they can hear. The source is infrasound, frequencies below 20 hertz, set beneath the floor of human hearing, but not beneath human however you say that, man. This is fucking tongue twisting, man. Slocky about that. All right, it says physiology or whatever. All right, it says uh the body's vestibular system, all right, registers low frequency vibrations directly, triggering the same response as motion sickness, right? And so I have that pulled up too. Let's go to it real quick. All right. Vestibular, you know what I'm saying? It says vestibular is an adjective that refers to the sense of balance, all right, spatial orientation, or however you say that, and movement. It says the most common relates to the vestibular system, which is a sensory network in the inner ear, responsible for keeping you upright, steady, and oriented, orientated in space. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you balance. Okay. So this particular noise that's going out from these AI data centers are causing people to, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? They feel motion, have that same sense of motion sickness, man. You see, they can't even fucking hear the sound. You just feel it. It just makes you sick. All right. It says the cooling systems and gas turbines running these facilities 24/7 produce exactly this range. Noise ordinance were written in audible noise. Decibel measurements start at 20 hertz. Infrasound doesn't appear. At 200 megawatt data center, a 200 megawatt data center with tens of thousands of tons of cooling equipment can run around the clock with zero measurable noise violations under any existing zoning laws. You see? So like this shit is like, the fucking law is these niggas is doing this shit under the table. You know what I'm saying? The fucking he sets laws to where, like I said, the decibel measurement starts at 20 hertz, but these fucking data centers, you know what I'm saying? They right below that shit to where he's not breaking any laws, but it's making people sick. It's fucking people up, man. Like literally, it's fucking the environment up. And pardon my French for it's messing the environment up. You know what I'm saying? It's killing the animals. You know what I'm saying? Animals are leaving the area and dying off. You see, becoming sick. All right. It says uh a 200 megawatt data center with tens of thousands of tons of cooling equipment can run around the clock with zero measurable noise violations under any existing zoning laws. The developers know this. You see, jurisdictions uh, uh, are targeted because they lack the legal staff, the engineering expertise, and the regulatory framework to mount a challenge. You see, and so these niggas they pick these particular areas for a reason. You see, because they know they ain't nobody there to fight their ass back. You see, so it says households who bought before the announcements have two options. All right. And it bought before the option, bought before the announcement, meaning, you know what I'm saying, before they knew that these data centers were being erected. Okay. It says they've been given two options: sell at a price no buyer will pay, or stay and live with symptoms their family doctor has no framework to diagnose as infrastructure related. All right. It says that cost never appears in the hyperscalers earning call. The turbines don't stop when the legal framework finally notices them. Okay. So it's another one too. All right. It's from Utah Mega Data Center could drop 23 atomic bombs worth of energy per day. It says a proposed mega scale data center in Utah called Stratos Campus could require up to 9 gigawatts of power, making it one of the largest data centers developments in the world. For comparison, a 9 gigawatts is roughly comparable to New York City's average electricity demand. God damn. Wow, bro. And New York City is big as hell, bro. You know? So it says a Utah State University physics professor estimated that the facility in its associated natural gas power plant could drop energy equivalent to 23 atomic bombs per day into the surrounding environments. It says the professor preliminary analysis said this could raise daytime temperatures by 2 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit and nighttime temperatures by 8 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit, potentially causing serious ecological impacts. Right? You see? So it's messing the earth up, man. You see? Not only the earth, but animals is raising the temperature. Like, bro, but these are the same people. As I did a lesson not too long ago about me and the brother Monty about, we need to save the earth needs saving from the peoples who trying to save the world, meaning these Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Under saying that they trying to save the world, and really them niggas is destroying it. You see, so we need to save the world from the people who saying that they're saving the world. You know, it says even skeptics find the math broadly checks out. It says so long as the bomb you measure is by us like measure it by is the same is the one drop on Hiroshima, which was about 15 kilotons, much smaller than modern weapons. It says the key difference is that an atomic bomb releases its energy all at once in the blink of an eye, whereas the data center heat releases releases it's like a releases will be spread across 24 hours. You see, so instead of it, that like I said, an atomic bomb releases its energy at all at once, but this data center spreads that shit out over 24 hours, man. But it's still releasing the same amount of energy. You see, and like I said, 23 fucking, it's equivalent to 23 atomic bombs, man. You see, so these things this is something like I said, these Israelite camps should be warning about. So let's get back to it.
Boom that is only just getting started. Where I am standing now is at the middle of the data center capital of the world. This is Loudoun County, Virginia, otherwise known as Data Center Alley. And it may not look like much from down here, but just take a look from up above. These are Amazon data centers. Zoom out and you can see tech companies tend to build data centers in clusters, where there is a reliable power supply, access to enough water, as well as tax breaks and affordable land. But of course, these tend to also be places where lots of people already live, like Santa Clara County, California, or the most heavily populated part of Arizona, Maricopa County. And of course, here in Northern Virginia, the most densely populated part of the Washington, D.C. metro area, and one of the largest and fastest growing residential areas in the US.
Yeah, I mean, I was the fourth homeowner in this neighborhood, fourth to occupy a house in this neighborhood.
Donna Gallant has lived on this street in Prince William County, Northern Virginia, for the last 30 years. All very peaceful until 2021, when things started to change. These are Google data centers, and ever since they started rising from the ground, Donna has been looking for answers.
There's no transparency, and
with the data center companies or with local authorities? Or
both.
Yeah.
So anytime you ask a question, it's, oh, we signed an NDA, we can't talk about it. Oh, we're under NDA, we can't talk about it. So there's no transparency at all.
The site isn't complete yet, but she says the noise is already taking its toll.
When I go to my room at night, the tonal noise immediately triggered my anxiety to the point where I couldn't sleep. I ended up having to go down on my first floor and put noise canceling headphones on just so I could sleep.
But for Donna and her neighbors, this is just the start. Over the next few years, they will find themselves surrounded by a string of new data centers.
That's gonna go from this road here all the way and around my neighborhood. That's where the data center is gonna go. And that's gonna be 75 feet tall, dead smack in the middle of a neighborhood.
Zoom out a little more and you can see this plot of land. It was originally meant for housing, but in 2023 it was rezoned to clear the way for the construction of data centers instead. Prince William County already has over 70 data centers, but if this master plan for a data center opportunity zone is fully realized, together with Loudoun County to the north, they'll have more data centers than Russia. Donna set up a local campaign to challenge the rezoning, but the lawsuit was dismissed.
Right, going right back into what we read, from that post, you know what I'm saying, about how these people who erect these data centers ultimately go to rural areas because they lack the expertise, they lack the judicial, you know what I'm saying? They can't fight back, you know. Every time they try to bring a case up, it's dismissed. You know what I'm saying? Because these companies have millions to billions of dollars and can just, throw money at the judge, or you know what I'm saying? and people are just, and like she said, they're about to be, her neighborhood is about to be surrounded. All right. And just like that post said, you only have two choices. Either you can stay there and you can live with the symptoms, and ultimately that shit can continue to make you sick until you die, or you can sell and move. And this can be another way that Esau can get people to, move to these cities, these major cities, all right, to lock their ass in these smart cities, man. Get them out of these rural areas, get them out of the country areas, and push them towards the city. You know what I'm saying? Because these data centers are ultimately fucking them up, messing them up, man.
Yeah, it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. Do I have ill feelings towards the data center industry for that? Yes, I do. I think we all need it. It's the way the world is going. But do I think dropping it next to people's homes is the right answer? No.
There is no definitive public directory of data centers, no official map, no single regulator to ask, or government agency to FOIA.
So, it's been really tricky to kind of get these records because the companies don't want to disclose all of that information.
By tricky, we mean redacted records and requests denied on the grounds of trade secrets. It turns out there is one thing that most data centers need: backup generators, in case the grid fails. And anyone who wants to install a generator needs to apply for an air quality permit.
So what we set out to do was request all of the permits that are issued to data centers for those backup generators.
That meant filing public record requests for air permits in every state. They list the capacity of the generator, so we can extrapolate the power needs of the data center. They also provide clues about who owns it. Take this hotspot rapidly expanding close to Columbus, Ohio.
There are at least 164 emergency generators permitted here. This is a data center where the air permit was applied for by an LLC called Magellan Enterprises LLC. But the company has applied for a trade secrets exemption. So they were actually able to redact pretty much all the information that we wanted.
But all of the big tech giants must disclose any companies like LLCs that they own. And by digging into their official records, we managed to pull back the mask. And it turns out that the data center in Ohio,
it's not Magellan Enterprises LLC, that's actually owned by Google.
This is a task we repeat.
Man, you see how these big companies, they can hide behind other names. They have other smaller companies that they you know what I'm saying, that they make to ultimately to hide behind it. Like she said, this whatever Moderna company, whatever that shit was called, they thought it was that, but really when they found it out, it was owned by Google. You see? But this is the devil for you. How she said they redact all the information to where they make it hard to figure out what's really going on, to keep people in the dark. Okay, but I'm gonna fast forward it, man, for time's sake, because I know we had like around a 30-minute mark already. But let's jump forward, man. Let's jump forward a little bit.
Said yes.
Hey, Gordon, welcome to Lunavi. Well, come on in, I'll show you a tour.
Of course, none of this lives up in the clouds. It's stored in large warehouses on the ground. This graph shows the explosion of data centers in the US in just the last 20 years. From above, just little white boxes, but remove the roof and you can see what all the fuss is about. Rows of computer servers performing calculations, training AI models, or storing data. Your social media accounts, photos, and videos live in a place like this. All these machines need power, a lot of it. So do the building's cooling systems and water pumps. The largest data centers can consume over 2 terawatt-hours of electricity a year, enough to power 200,000 homes. And just in case the power cuts out, data centers have backup batteries, as well as those diesel generators that they need permits for. The byproduct of all that energy use is heat. In many data centers, massive cooling systems suck out hot air and pass it through air conditioning units in a continuous loop. The most common type uses chilled water to absorb heat and release it from a cooling tower. The cooling systems and fans emit a constant drone. The noise level is generally below the limits permitted for industrial zones close to residential areas, but these were never designed with the 24/7 drone of modern data centers in mind.
Right, like we read on that post. You know, these data centers are below, all right, the decibel law, you know what I'm saying, of audible noise, you know what I'm saying, to where now, you know, even though it's harming the environment, it's harming people, there's no, you know, under Esau's books, a law, there's no law being broken. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't ultimately, you know what I'm saying, fall under the damn, you know, over the 20 hertz. You know what I'm saying? This is the devil for you, man.
Listen to this. The ambient sound of Dulles Town Center in Northern Virginia, recorded on a phone.
Now check this out. This is one point that I wanted to get. Check this out. Listen to this.
3 Amazon data centers sit roughly 200 meters away. I ran the audio through noise reduction software. Only then do you realize that hidden behind the drone of the data centers, there is birdsong.
So before those data centers was ever there, you know, just like, you know, you go outside, you hear the birds chirping, you know what I'm saying? But now you don't hear it no more. That it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's overran. You know, now all you hear is the fucking machines. You know, and that has an effect on people, man. That's why it causes anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like that lady was saying, it caused sleep disruption because you constantly hearing that. You go outside and just a constant fucking hum. You don't hear the birds chirping anymore. And hearing nature, hearing birds, all right, it ultimately has an effect on the mental. You know what I'm saying? It helps you. Matter of fact, I think I still got it pulled up. Let's see. Let's see. Right, here we go. So it says the soothing sound of birdsong has been scientifically shown to heal the mind by decreasing stress hormones and lowering levels of anxiety and paranoia. You see, in stark contrast, the continual mechanical hum of an industrial data center induces the fight or flight response. God damn. It says, you know, it says leading to severe issues like sleep deprivation, hypertension, and cognitive decline. You see, the drastic difference between the two uh, acoustics of environment impact human health in the following ways. Bro, it said that shit, um, the continuous mechanical hum of industrial data center induces the fight or flight response. So it's like you constantly don't have no rest, man. You know? And that's why the scriptures say, man, that it's not our rest, man. Micah 2:10. You see? It ain't nothing at rest, man. This nigga has taken peace from the earth, man. You see, like it says in the book of Revelations. All right. But it says the restorative power of birdsong, anxiety and paranormal reduction. You see, brain restoration. Natural sounds stimulate brain pathways associated with relaxation, helping to overcome mental fatigue and restore cognitive focus. Biological grounding. Bird songs create a natural soundscape that tells the human brain the surrounding environment is safe and thriving. You see? Hearing that, yeah, you know, you go out in nature, you hearing the birds and all the animals and in nature, and you know, okay, damn, it's thriving, you know, and it has these, like I said, it restores the brain, you know what I'm saying, anxiety and paranormal, it reduces it, depression, like it says, researchers from the Max Institute found that listening to just 6 minutes of diverse bird songs significantly alleviated heavier symptoms of anxiety, depression, and paranoia. So that's the sound of nature and you know the natural sounds of the creation, man. You seeing what it does? It says the impact of constant data center noise, persistent stress. Data center generated a 24-hour mechanical hum for cooling systems and generators. This unceasing noise and the low frequency vibration infrasound, all right, like we read, keeps the body in a constant state of physiological stress, spiking quarter course, however you say that shit, damn, tripping. cortisol, and increasing heart rate. You see, severe sleep disturbance, unnatural constant industrial drone uh, prevents restorative deep sleep, often forcing wildlife to flee the area and leave communities devoid of nature sound. You see, so where so that's even fucking with the birds, man. Hearing that shit, like, man, we gotta get the hell out of here. So they fly away, and you just through sitting in the fucking goddamn $300,000 house that your ass done bought, and now you can't even enjoy it. You got to go down to your fucking basement to try, and that don't work. You see? So the only option you got is to get the hell out of there, man. So it says long-term health risks. Chronic exposure to 24/7 noise pollution is heavily linked to severe health issues, including cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and high blood pressure. You see, and these are all effects, all right, that we're gonna get on this video, man. You see? Let's keep going.
About 20 miles south in Manassas, Virginia, Carlos Yanis measures the noise from his local Amazon data centers.
But again, it's pretty much what we were experiencing.
And that's just from your deck out there?
That's from the deck.
Bro, you can't even, bro, Nick can't even go out there and chill on a fucking deck, man, and look at the trees and then barbecue. You can't even with just constant fucking hum. He threw, bro.
So what sort of reading are we getting?
So right now it's stabilizing, but of course we're talking.
He does this twice a day, usually in the evening, and logs his readings with a local residents group. This has been his routine for the last few years.
Keep in mind these symptoms that we read about, constant hearing this infrasound, all right, and these particular humming of these machines and the effects that it have, on the health and the mental. So keep that in mind.
It's not something that you just hear, it's something that you just feel, and enough to the point when it's really, really strong, you can even hear the windows vibrate.
He spent $20,000 on insulation and replacing all the upstairs windows. Still, the sound and the feeling of the constant hum keep him from sleeping.
I'm getting bombarded each and every night. And again, I can feel it. Even if I touch the wall, you could feel the vibrations on the wall.
The American Public Health Association says chronic noise exposure can lead to serious health problems like cardiovascular disease or increased stress. Carlos's son started having night.
Right, nigga can't get no sleep, nigga through, then still gotta go to work. Nigga still gotta go to work, still gotta pay fucking bills, shit going up. He through, and this is why we say that we need the Lord, man. We need the Lord to come back. Ain't no other answer to it. There's no other answer to this problem in the earth, man. All right, and to this problem for our people is that we need the Lord to come back.
Recently, with my kid, he's 7 years old. He was waking up a few times. I was trying to figure out what was going on. And one day he told me, Dad, there's a spaceship outside. And as a father, it's terrible because I can't do anything about it.
Since replacing the windows, they've also tried white noise machines. At one point, Carlos moved his whole family down to the basement to try to escape the vibrations. After the local homeowners association raised concerns to county officials and Amazon executives, they initially tried to muffle the sound by putting material around the fans on top of the buildings. When that didn't work, they replaced the fans themselves with taller exhaust vents. The noise level did drop, but Carlos and his neighbors say they can still feel the vibrations from the data centers. An Amazon spokesperson told us the centers operate well below required sound levels.
You see, that's how he the devil. You see, we technically it's sound. It's not. We're above the standard. We're above it, or we're below the standard. So, I mean, what can I say? You can't. I don't know what to tell you. We're not breaking any laws. The damn devil, man. But it's a lot more to this video. Like I said, man, Lord, when I put the link in the chat, but you see the title, you know, exposing the dark side of America's AI data center data explosion. All right, I have one more video that I want to touch on. I'm gonna skip through it. This is going also into the data center. You know what I'm saying, in Memphis. All right, Elon Musk. You know, let's get to operate that.
Sometimes the most shocking corporate misconduct is hidden in plain sight, invisible to the naked eye.
What is happening here will swallow our world if we don't stop it right here, right now.
Looking back, there was an early clue that the world's richest man was up to something here.
It's just like, why is Elon Musk coming to Memphis?
The people of Memphis soon found out.
Now Elon Musk is coming to Memphis to build the world's largest supercomputer.
A year later,
we here because we mean business.
People here want answers.
It's the job of the health department to protect our lungs, and not once have they went to XAI to see that they had 35 gas turbines operating and polluting our air.
We went to Memphis and found an environmental crime scene. Musk's data center burning enough methane to power a small city with no permits and no pollution controls.
I have not seen any.
Right, nigga violating the brother. Nigga, bro, the scriptures say, let's go to it, man. Scriptures talk about not committing a crime. This is Sirach chapter 7 and verse 7 in the GNT. Don't commit any crime against the general public, and don't disgrace yourself among your townspeople. All right, and this is exactly what this nigga is doing, man. This nigga is, hey, we just heard the first video and now this video. You see, this nigga's committing crime against the general public, man. Jake all in there in the fucking meeting through, you know.
Anything like this. We believe they've already violated the Clean Air Act.
As Musk helps dismantle the very federal agency that's supposed to protect us against pollution like this,
there is no way to miss how this is a coordinated strategy.
What does Memphis reveal about the future Elon Musk wants for us all?
That nigga, man. That nigga ain't right. Dude is a Habakkuk, man. Habakkuk 2 and 4, man. The soul that is lifted up in him is not upright, man. This nigga ain't upright. Look at Moab, simple ass. You see? I'm gonna skip a little bit. Let's go. Let's see.
Of the world.
When you think about the computational power, we were told that by the company. And so it required speed and power.
It's announced as a done deal.
Keyshawn Pearson grew up in South Memphis.
A billionaire and his organization is coming to our city, and we're just finding out after the land has been purchased, after the project has been approved by certain officials, right, who did know.
This is huge. This puts the word out there that Memphis understands operating at the speed of business.
As a community, we're trying to reach out to people and understand what is XAI. He built it without us even knowing that it was being built.
We had to watch this over X or Twitter. Brent Mayo, Elon Musk would tweet often about where they were in the progress, how fast things were moving.
To train an AI system, a data center requires an enormous amount of electricity. The question was, where would the power come from?
Most companies, when they come to the city of Memphis, they plug into our power grid. That's what you think would happen. Why would this be any different? Unfortunately, we learned because it is a billionaire's corporation, it would be a lot different.
XAI made a deal with the local electric company for 150 megawatts of power and agreed to build a new substation to help meet that demand. But Musk's ambitious plans suggested he would need much more power than that, and fast. Soon, people started to notice some unusual structures outside the facility.
I drove out there, and the first thing I did was hear the turbines. You can smell it as well. Such a disturbingly unique smell.
From the road, Keyshawn and others could see a row of machines that are typically only used for remote or emergency operations. Mobile gas turbines.
I have never seen portable turbines used like this.
Patrick Anderson works on air quality cases for the Southern Environmental Law Center.
We know that these kinds of generators require air permits. And so right off the bat, we started filing records requests with the local Shelby County Health Department. Do you have an air permit application from XAI? And they came back and basically said, no, we have nothing to hand over. We also filed records requests with EPA to see what they had. They also did not have details on what is on the ground out there. Nobody from the regulatory side, the health department, the city, EPA, has told the public or us really one iota of what's actually operating out there.
To figure that out, Patrick and his team hired a photographer to capture the data center from above. The images revealed far more turbines than anyone knew about. 35.
I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely stunned. How do we not know about this?
According to XAI leadership, the turbines are not being used and are not connected.
Under pressure, XAI claimed it was using less than half of those turbines.
I've talked to the XAI leadership team. There are 35, but there are only 15 that are on. The other ones are stored on the site.
Well, first off, these are expensive. There's a turbine shortage nationally. You don't obtain these turbines and put them on site if you're not intending to operate them.
So Patrick and his team sent the photographer back out with a high-end thermal camera.
What we saw is 33 of the 35 were very clearly operating.
Nigga lied through his damn teeth, man. You see, the scriptures say that though, you know. The wicked go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies, man. Lies, yeah, we got 30, yeah, we got 35, but we're only using 15. They got 33 of them bitches on. Polluting the hell out the air, man. You know? Real quick, man, let me see if I still have this pulled up as well about these turbines. Let's go to it. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. This AI overview. It says, yes, gas turbines used to power AI data center pollutes the air and contribute significantly to global warming. Because artificial intelligence requires massive continuous power, many tech companies are bypassing traditional power grids and building on-site gas turbines, which create both local and global environmental hazards. The same niggas that's talking about global warming are contributing to global warming. That lets you know this nigga's a fucking devil, man. You know? Cows are the problem. Cow farts are the problem. You know? Spiders and goddamn bats are the problem. You know? Rats are the problem. Nigga, too many people on the earth is the problem. Not you polluting the damn, you know. Every chance this nigga get, he's destroying something, man. You see?
The turbines were capable of generating about 420 megawatts of electricity, enough to power around 300,000 homes.
Memphis is
Looking at
you go to great lengths.
Gas seeps, but
I was getting that pollution, not the air that made.
Okay, now let's listen to a couple of these jakes and then I'm gonna end it off.
I like to open my windows early in the morning to breathe the fresh air. God's given air, not the air that man want to give us, but God.
Eastern Ox lives just over a mile from XAI.
I really wasn't getting the fresh air. I was getting that pollution that was mixed in with everything.
you know how you light your stove and that gas seeps with the little ticking noise? That's what it smelled like.
Alexis Humphreys grew up here, one street away from Eastern.
When I smelled it the first time, I was asleep. And it woke me up because I thought gas was seeping in the house, but come to find out, we come outside and all the neighbors was outside trying to figure out what's going on.
He was an ordinary dad, full of joy, full of jokes.
Last year, Alexis lost her grandfather, who struggled with a respiratory illness called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD.
COPD is a breathing condition, but you don't get it unless you smoke cigarettes. And my granddad didn't smoke cigarettes, but every 3 weeks or so, my granddad was going to the hospital. He would have to get breathing treatments. I have asthma, bronchitis. My mom have just bronchitis, and now my granny has it.
You can't hardly breathe. It's just like your whole world is collapsing down on you, and it's frightening.
Easter and her husband have also developed COPD. What does it feel like?
Feel like you're fixing to die.
Man, this is the devil, bro. You see? It's the devil, man. Straight up, straight like that, man. Here it is, these people are, you know what I'm saying? He don't give two shits about people, man. Especially you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know? They didn't give two shits about them jakes, man. Put that shit up in close to their neighborhood, now they fucking dying. Got all kind of health problems. But you niggas ain't saying nothing, man. You see, you Other man, you fucking niggas is with you riding around in a goddamn Tesla, man. This nigga got a lot to pay for, bro. This is the devil. You see, and these data centers are something, like I said, these things are being erected more and more. You see, like that lady was saying in the first video, they really don't know how many they truly are. So they had to try to make up, they had to try to they did research and made up their own little map. And when you seen it, it was hella dots, hella white dots everywhere, bro. And like I said, Esau can be using using this as a way to push everybody into these major cities, all right, to lock your ass into these 15 mini cities that he's trying to erect. Get your ass out these countries and these rural areas. Push everybody into one place. You know, I don't want to make. I know we almost at an hour, man. So Lord, witness lesson edifying to you, brothers and sisters. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of great millstone and teacher who well. As always, peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.